PC and or keyboard and mouse on a PC, and it's not our job to dictate where games are developed or the kind of games that developers want to.
This is dumb. Stop making me refresh, damn it.
In the gaming space leads to the best games, and that's why I think we're all here.
Well, you now have the chance.
What the hell?
For us to do more in the first party, and we will. We're dedicated to that, but I don't like to make promises or announce things before we have a plan. So we're gonna have some people come out. But one of the franchises that a lot of people have asked me about is Killer Instinct, and we're gonna bring Killer Instinct to the PC, and we're gonna allow people to play on PC, to play on console, to play back and forth. I think it's a great franchise for us. You've seen fighting games do very well, and it's the beginning for us. Again, I could make some grandiose promises. I'm just not that kind of person. As our portfolio builds out on Windows, you'll hear more and more from us about what we're building.
And I also am so excited to bring some guests up to the stage to talk about the titles that they are working on. So without any further ado, oh God, I'm so excited about these two in particular. Please join me in welcoming David Eckelberry and James Finney from Fable Legends and Gigantic. Come join me.
Dumb.
Straight into it right now, and James Finney from Fable Legends and Gigantic.
There we go. We're straight to this thing going.
Come join me. Hello, welcome. Welcome. You are not allowed to begin speaking without a formal handshake. Yes. I just saw the footage. We're just going to go straight into it right now.
Perfect.
This is footage from Fable Legends. It's beautiful. I want to know about it. Tell me about what we're doing.
Thanks, Chameleon.
So this is a premiere video that we brought for you today. What we're looking at is the diverse set of environments that we're going to just show off, right? The great thing about Fable Legends, it's this game that you can play on your Xbox One. It's a game you can play on a Windows 10 PC. And what we're really getting to build right now as we prepare to release the game later this year is an incredibly cool story-based world that you can spend time in with lots of different heroes, cool characters, more than 24 different creatures to fight against. And all of those options will be there regardless of platform you or your friends are playing on. Because that way, you can play cross-platform, just like you said.
And I immediately want to ask about the way that you are able to use the DirectX 12 technology. We talked about how more isn't necessarily better. How do you use that computing power to realize this vision?
Basically, what it gives us the power to do is to put more beautiful pixels in a smaller space, right? Fundamentally, Fable Legends is about drawing this beautiful world that we've never got to see before. We're going back to Albion, a really beloved place, but we can do it with a level of graphics on both platforms that our fans have always wanted us to deliver, cutting-edge technology right at the forefront.
Now, I want to shift a little bit over to some of the gameplay choices you've made. I understand.
I have that quick save. I haven't played it yet. It does look very, very good.
That dangerous stigma that people have associated with that. Walk me through the choice around the business model.
I think, we thought about it's a new kind of game that we were building in Fable Legends. And we really wanted the opportunity for everyone to play it and make their own decision on it. It's a different kind of game. It's not exactly like Fable 1, 2, and 3. It has the opportunity for multiplayer, has this new villain that can play and play oppositionally. And I think that meant for us that the only way for our fans to find out if they were going to love Fable Legends was simply to play it. When we talked about it a lot, that just meant that we wanted to put it in their hands and let them take a shot.
And how does this allow you to do an extended long-term development for Fable Legends?
We're going to plan for years of content. We're continue to make new characters, new quests, and things like that. And there had to be some way that we could deliver that to the user. It couldn't just be a $60 box or, subscriptions are a kind of unused model these days. So when we talked about it, it just seemed to be the best way to do that is to continue to deliver great quest content and keep putting out new creatures and heroes for the two sides to play.
And I cannot disagree with the beauty that we saw there. But of course, I'm super excited it's going to be on the PC, so I get to play it so easily.
Yeah, and it's great. It's really easy to play on the PC. Yeah. You can plug in a controller, you can use mouse and keyboard, you can do it wherever you want.
Well, awesome. And of course, James, I've been following Gigantic for quite a while. Let's take a look at some of the footage.
Gigantic looks really good.
And for some people who are unfamiliar with
Gigantic,
it has a pretty unusual core gameplay to it.
Yeah, so as the name implies, it centers around these gigantic creatures. It's 5-on-5 PvP, play it on Windows 10, play it on Xbox One, and each team consists of 5 unique heroes, but they also have this guardian that's AI controlled and is the objective in the game. So you've got your guardian, the enemy team has theirs, and whichever guardian dies, their team loses.
And I know that one of the core elements to the gameplay is that it's a mix of a shooter and a MOBA. How do you merge those two together for the hero creation?
It's actually been pretty fluid and really fun for us from a development standpoint. So, as we look at these different heroes, what we've tried to do is just, we started with the basis of
Added
shooter
2 quick
control,
save.
and we wanted to draw on MOBAs and strategy games and look
Has
at
that nice
ways to make it a
cell
really,
shading that
compelling,
reminds me of
strategic,
Borderlands.
back and forth. But each one of these heroes gives us a chance to create a character that works for people who have different skill set as players or like a different play style. So some of these guys really require some twitch aiming, some of them don't. Some of them are more kind of action brawler. Some of them use more sophisticated skill interactions or more for kind of RPG players.
Well, I know that a lot of MOBAs, the heroes are very statistical based. If you're a DPS, you're a tank, it's defined by those numbers. But in a shooter, so much of what seems like would define a character's strength would be the player's ability to aim. How do you balance those two?
We assume that you're good at the character depending on what the character calls for, and some of them
That's a bold move.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
Call for as much aiming skill. Some of them are much more about tactical thinking, positional thinking. So there's a character, Griselma, that summons these portal creatures, and so she's not really doing the combat herself, but she's got to think strategically about how she places things. Some of the characters, the melee character, it's more about when you're going to get in there and mix it up versus when you need to hang back.
And I mean, I know that there's a lot of very unusual hero design in the game. What are some of the ones that you're particularly excited about?
Oh man, all of them are a lot of fun. I think
you don't get to say that answer. You have to get some really cool ones. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
We've actually had a lot of fun on the team, just letting people sort of put their creative vision into things. So each character sort of represents different influences from different team members. But
cool.
Vadasi is one of the characters that I've always really liked playing. She's got the forearm. She's a character that can run around and heal, sort of uses a beam skill to heal, but she can also hurt enemies. And with all the characters, during the course of the battle, you get to pick upgrades as you go. And those upgrades are branching upgrades on each skill that can make the character play in very different ways. So you can build Vadasi to be sort of the ultimate healer, or you can actually build her to do some real damage too.
Well, like I said, I've been following development of your games for quite some time. Very excited to see the full product soon. I understand, according to the screen, that the beta is in August?
Yeah, we're moving along. That's going to be closed beta, though we're going to try to let a pretty good number of people in, and then look for open beta later this year.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out once again.
Thank you.
David Finney.
Hey, thanks a lot.
David Eckerberg, James Finney.
Good job.
Now, Phil, we do have one more guest.
We do.
Quite a surprise. Very excited to bring out the studio head of the Coalition, Rod Ferguson.
Wrong Coalition.
Yes, welcome. No, Phil, I guess, just gets to oversee everything from the far chair. Hey, Phil. Hi. Yeah, if you
Rod
want to
needs
sit.
his space. He needs his space.
So, Rod, I'm going to leave this relatively open-ended. Tell us what brings you to the PC Gaming Show.
I may be announcing that Gears of War Ultimate Edition is coming to PC.
There you go. Gears of War, huh?
Let's go ahead and take a look at the Gears of War Ultimate.
I know how you feel,
Edition.
Chameleon. Me too, buddy.
A little bit about what we're going to see.
Well, I mean, Gears of War is basically the first at its best. It's been rebuilt, remastered from the ground up. And on console, it's 1080p, but on PC, 4K resolution support, unlimited refresh rate, DX12. We're going to support mouse and keyboard. We even support the wireless controller and the new Elite wireless controller. So there's going to be a lot of great, sort of visual meat there for the PC player.
And what about some of the gameplay content? I mean, I know that Gears of War came out, was it 2006?
Yeah, I mean, Gears 1 was 2006, and Gears 1 PC was 2007. And so, yeah, there's been a lot of changes, modernizations. You know, it's one of those things when you have a game like this, you have to walk this line of nostalgia. It's like, you know, but nostalgia is great, but when you actually go back and look at what you made, you know, 10 years later, it doesn't necessarily hold up, and so you have to make it kind of more contemporary.
What were some of those challenges? Like,
From what I read, quick save, you can cancel it whenever. You don't have to do the automatic download when it comes out. I'm still going to do a Windows 7 backup before it releases. That way, if I don't like 10, I can just reload my Windows 7 and call it good, you know?
Expand on what you have in terms of, again, you know, all the different options you can get into. But from just an overall game perspective, the difference between the original to the remastered is just we rebuilt everything from the ground up. You know, we started with the core simulation, but there's over 3,000 art assets fully replaced. We have 19 multiplayer maps. We've got a bunch of new modes. But, you know, we looked at how do people play Gears of War multiplayer. We found that TDM was the best way to play socially, and King of the Hill was the best way to play competitively. And so we took those two modes from Gears 3 and brought them back to the Ultimate Edition so that people can play the way they want to play now. So it's things like that. There's lots of little tweaks to walk this line between nostalgia and contemporary shooter in 2015.
What about some of the other features you can take advantage of now that it's going to be on Windows 10?
Oh, well, you know, the standard stuff that comes with Windows 10, Xbox Live, Game DVR, like all the things you would expect to be able to take advantage of.
I agree with that, Dishes.
Well, awesome. Now, of course, are there other things in the future that the PC fans can look forward to from the Gears of War franchise?
Nothing to announce yet. You know, so that'll be something we'll be happy to talk about at a later time.
Okay. Well, great, guys. Thank you so much for coming out, ladies and gentlemen. Xbox Initiative for PC. Good job. Gentlemen, thank you. Now, of course, this is a moment that I was asked to do. I resisted, but if you're looking for the one moment when Day 9 sold out, it's right now. Stay with me. For any of you who are familiar with a company called SCS Software, they make a game called Euro Truck Simulator.
Oh, God.
They are expanding west with all brand new content, and I am thrilled to be able to present to you American Truck Simulator.
Oh, God. Here we go. Really? No, it's trucks. It's big rigs. You guys will never see me playing this game. Nope. Other shit going on than driving a truck.
If you want to join in on the drive that I took from San Francisco to LA to be here, you can do it in American Truck Simulator. It was actually made using Google Maps, which is totally sweet. No woo for Google Maps? Thank you. Yeah, it's how I found here. Now, one of the big elephants in the room in PC gaming right now is virtual reality. Everyone's excited about it. We heard AMD talk about how they're developing technology specifically for it. But it's unclear exactly what the killer app is, what the killer experience is that will bring VR to the forefront. But the man that I'm about to invite onto the stage, he has some ideas with a product called Eve Valkyrie. Let's bring onto the stage Ryan Geddes from CCP.
Nice! Yeah, Eve Valkyrie's gonna be awesome. I like CCP.
Welcome. Thank you.
I enjoyed Eve quite a bit.
Now, Ryan, right off the bat, I dabbled with Oculus a few years ago, and it felt a little awkward to both control the movement of a character, but then also be moving my head around to look around. What makes, in your eyes, Eve Valkyrie a more compelling natural experience for VR?
Yeah, so with Valkyrie, we are trying to essentially make what is the essence of space combat. So we are putting you right in the cockpit of a Valkyrie fighter in the Eve universe, shooting you out of a tube into space, and basically just surrounding you with combat. So it's people locking onto you, missiles, machine guns, you're working as a team, You're really trying to survive out there.
Yeah.
So,
I'll give
Yeah,
you
and
that.
I actually got the chance to try it out last night, and they filmed me. So let's watch me trying on Eve Valkyrie right now. It'll be my first time putting on an Oculus headset in 3-4 years or something. So the last